So I finally watched The Munsters, the new Rob Zombie movie. I'm not a huge Rob Zombie guy, but I really liked House of Thousand Corpses, and his remake of Halloween is probably my favorite in his catalog. I think that movie is fucking wicked. I thought he did a great job of Michael Myers. When I saw he was making a Munsters movie, I was pretty excited. I didn't know if it was going to be family friendly like the show, or it was going to be like an R-rated version and like horror, which I thought would have been 30 million times better than what we got. Positives out of the way first. This movie is shot pretty good. The makeup design, the costumes, the set designs, it all looks awesome. It looks so real. It really does pull you into that world with all the creepy monsters, and you really do feel like you're there. And the color palette is pretty good. And then near the second half of the movie, it kind of dips down in quality. But for the first half of the movie, it looks really good. And that's all I gotta say for positives. This movie is a big fat waste of time. I'm not gonna sit here and call it bad or trash. There's only one word to describe this, and it's boring. Just flat out boring. It's like me time with Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg. You know there's going to be stupid comedy where you can just shut your brain off and like let it pass. But this movie is indigestible. It is mind-numbingly bad. It hurts your head when you're watching it. I'm always honest with my audience. So I'm telling you guys right now, this is a 2-hour movie. I made it an hour in and I shut it off. I couldn't fucking watch it anymore. The acting is bad. It doesn't feel like anyone's giving it their all. Everyone feels like they're at the fucking high school talent show. It feels like a first draft of a script. And that's really just what this movie feels like. It really feels like it's still in the early stages. The dialogue is just bad. If the dialogue was more interesting, I would have finished it. But the dialogue was so bad. You guys have been in my position. You've watched a movie you don't want to watch. You know how it feels. And you get halfway through and you're like, why the fuck am I wasting my time when there's other things I can be doing? That's how I feel about this movie. I appreciate Rob Zombie's creativity and just making wacky shit like this. This is why I watch him. And there's always going to be that movie that I either like or I don't like. And unfortunately, this is one I did not enjoy. I didn't think I was going to love it. I didn't think I was going to hate it. I didn't expect to turn it off halfway through. I thought I was going to make it to the end. But I couldn't fucking do it. If you had, like I said, good dialogue, this movie could have gone down a lot better. The jokes at the beginning are somewhat funny, and then in the second half of the movie, it leans into more like of today's jokes, and it just does not land. It is very boring. If Rob Zombie made this movie rated R and like an actual horror movie, I think this would have been fucking sick. But at the same time, I mean, that could have been a bad route to go down. So I don't know. Making a movie from beginning to end is not easy. So I'm not going to sit here and trash it because I don't know what it's like. But I know for a fact that it's not an easy job. It's just boring. I can see why, like, I can see the audience. I can see people liking it. It's just not my cup of tea. It wasn't for me. Move on to the next movie, I'll easily forget about this. But don't sit there and think I'm making this video for views or any of that. I literally got to watch the movie early because of my streaming website. And I just didn't expect it to be so fucking boring and just nothing. Especially when the effects and the makeup design and everything looks so fucking good. You're like, oh shit. And then people start talking, and then you're like, fuck, I don't want to watch this anymore. Even making it through an hour in was fucking tolerable. I was skipping some scenes. I couldn't fucking take it. Rob Zombie, I love your horror movies, but man, you gotta work on your fucking... maybe it's not you, maybe it's people you have writing for you, but you gotta work on your fucking dialogue, man. The shit is unwatchable. Therefore, if you watch this movie or you haven't, go form your own opinion. Please don't listen to me and think, oh, it's bad because Nate said so. No, go watch the movie and form your own opinion. It's why movies are so interesting to watch. Everyone has a different opinion. But yeah, when all you have to offer is makeup and costume design and set design, I mean, that's half of it. But then you got to get the characters and the dialogue and a decent story, which all those things that I mentioned are not there. Which just sucks because I do feel like the guy is trying, but I really think he needs to go back to his horror elements and just stick with that, because House of a Thousand Corpses is awesome. Halloween with Michael Myers, he fucking nailed it. He was awesome. I don't know why people didn't like that. Halloween 2, I can understand why people didn't like that movie. But the first one, he did a great job. So please, Rob, go back to making horror movies. Do us a favor. Don't make family-friendly stuff. It's just not in your forte of films, if that makes sense. Rob Zombie, if you're watching this video, I highly doubt you are. I'm not bashing you. I think you're better in one genre. Some filmmakers can do other stuff. Rob, just stay where you are, man. All in all, I would give this movie what the fucking rating system was giving it. I'd give it a 1. If it wasn't for the effects and all that, I'd probably give it a 0. This is probably... Even Me Time, I sat through most of it because there's still Mark Wahlberg in it, and I was expecting something funny. This, I shut off halfway through. I honestly think this is the worst movie of 2022 so far. We're only in September. We still got a couple months to go. Yeah, that's the review of the Munsters. To the actors and everyone that played this, thank you for giving it your all, even though it didn't feel like it. But man, this just felt like if a kid asked me to go to the high school talent show or cosplay and people are dressed up doing goofy shit, that is what this movie is. I can't even sit down and eat it with a bunch of friends and just watch it and make fun of it. It's that unwatchable to me. So thank you for watching.